I've got to do it again. Let's rerun that. Hello and good evening. You know what it is. Abs of October Red. We are here. It is Saturday night. And what does Saturday night mean? We are going live. I've gone slightly early only because Huey Fury's fight's just about to start and my OCD will kick in and I won't want to come in on the live like halfway through a fight. So yeah, let's start off as we mean to go on. So good evening to all of you that are listening in. If you haven't been here before, warm welcome to you. I will ask, and I don't usually ask this, but apparently it helps because I was checking my statistics the other day and it says 83% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're here, hit the like button, hit the share button, and hit the subscribe button. But on the caveat that you want to subscribe, that you want to be here and you want to be part of our growing boxing community. So I got to do my manners. We've got to have manners in the chat as per usual. And good evening to Matty Howard. Just having dinner with my son. I'll be on as soon as I'm back. Enjoy your food. I've had a bit of 3 helpings to macaroni cheese tonight after meat again. Andrew, yes, Red, first live I've joined, and hopefully you'll join more. But to follow on to your next question, no, I will not be in Saudi next week. I will be here. And I think it's going to be one of those lives where it's a long marathon. I don't know what time I'm starting yet, but I think we usually start about 7-ish for the Saudi cards. But we'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know the time closer to it. But I know when we do the Saudi cards, it's a long night. We end up streaming for 4 or 5 hours. But you guys can nip off and get back, and I'll still be here wittering on. Oh, happy Mother's Day, Ricky E245, Mother's Day. I take it you're from the States because I think we had our Mother's Day in March, unless you're trolling Ricky. Who knows? But thank you. Chris, how's it going? Chris, we need updates. I don't even think I was live last week. I can't remember. But we need updates, Chris. We need to know how our Chris Welsh is doing. Jerry Wine, good evening to you. You are great, Jerry. I'm sure you're better than great. I'm sure you're better than great. But I am grateful. Speaking of great, I'm grateful to have you here this evening. You all here. Bro, when are they going to give you the opportunity to host a big event? Like what, Chili? And good evening to you. You know what I like? This is big for me because I get quite a few of you in here. The engagement's brilliant. We have a laugh. We're watching boxing. I've got no complaints. Ricky from the States. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. In the US, we might have a few mums listening into our live this evening. This fight, you reckon we should only last 1 or 2 rounds? I'm not too sure on who his opponent is. I did speak to Peter a couple of weeks ago, and he said that he's going in against someone that's undefeated, etc. But let's see how it goes. The guy looks pretty muscular, pretty in shape, but muscles don't win fights, do they? We've already been told that by a certain somebody. Here we go. Round 1's just about to start. Huey had a fight, 2 weeks ago? So he's fresh, he's sharp. I've seen him in the gym sparring after he had his fight the other day, and he was looking pretty good, pretty sharp, pretty fast, more confident. But as you can see, his opponent here has come out, Corte, they're both wearing silver shorts, has come out quite quickly. But it looks like Young Fury is going to have to use his boxing IQ because this one wants to dominate probably through his presence, his power. I haven't watched any previous matches with Corte, so I don't know what he's about. He looks a bit scrappy, untidy, but somebody that's going to come forward. And this is where Fury is going to have to show that IQ. He's going to have to really use that ring generalship to spin off like what he's just done, spin off and thrown the jab out. This is going to be all about IQ. Good evening to Howard. Howard, how you doing? I don't think I've seen you in a while, actually. Have you been okay? You looking after yourself? Oh, hold on. We've got an update from Chris Welsh. This is important. Everyone pause. I'm doing well, but that's fell flat. I needed to be real with myself. I was never going to work. It was never going to work. I had my reasons. I won't mention it on here. We've both gone our separate way. I'm heartbroken. I was planning a wedding, Chris. I was planning the YouTube gathering wedding of Chris Welsh, but you're still young. I know it was your birthday the other week, so belated happy birthday. You're still young. And as we say, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Just don't choose a smelly, rotten one. Good evening, Dan. How you doing? Dan the man. Dan the man, good evening to you. And Karma, thank you so much, Karma, the beautiful Karma Serene, our American, our US correspondent. Please, guys, if you haven't already, I beg. I don't like to beg. Well, I'll ask nicely. Subscribe to Karma Serene's YouTube channel. She'll give you the breakdowns. Karma is not afraid to say what she thinks, and she's not someone that sits on the fence either. And happy Mother's Day. I'm not sure if you're a mom, Karma, but thank you very much for those kind words. And back at you if you've got your own kids too. Krista said, but it's okay. I'm doing well. Still my usual self. It is what it is. But I'm not pointing fingers at her, but she took it the wrong way. Sometimes us women, we do get sensitive, Chris. We do. We can't help it. It's in our nature. Some of us are more sensitive than others. Yeah, the smelly rotten ones are the best. Here we go. Straight to the gutter. How long have we been going live? 6 minutes, 29, 30 seconds, and already it's in the gutter. Do I need to take the blame for that? Dan, I'm all good. All good. And I see that you're doing the bits on the battle. Kendrick versus Drake. Getting the tags in. Hilarious. We love it. He was dancing in the club. He's enjoying himself. Kendrick dancing in the club, I think. What did you say? DJ Academics posted that up. Good evening to you, James. And James passes on his regards to Karma. I can't believe the first round's already finished. Now that we're up to date with the chat. So much has been happening in boxing this week, hasn't it? I've got two screens on at the moment. I've got TNT Sports, and he said BT Sports then. I've got TNT on one screen, Sky Sports on one. I know Misfits is also on there. Yeah, scream and shout, Misfits. But it's still an event that's going on tonight. But that's on DAZN. But unfortunately, I'm not having the three of them up at once. And then we know in the early hours or whatever time they're doing it, we've got Kambosos, Loma. There's so much going on in boxing. If you haven't seen as well, I've posted a notification. I'm going to be going live tomorrow about 10 a.m. in the morning, 10 a.m. UK time, with a guy called Sylvester Dash. He runs a supplements company. He's been in the fitness industry for a while. I think he's a qualified second as well in boxing, and he's got a real good base knowledge on the drugs, because I tend to not talk about PEDs because I don't really understand it. I went on VADA, I went on WADA, and there is so much drugs, so many prohibited substances on there. And I think we're going to touch on some of the key cases that have been in the limelight. Conor Benn recently has resurfaced again. We've obviously watched the British Boxing Board of Control have said regarding him being prohibited to even practice. I think that means no sparring. And I think even though they've said the UK, I think there's a caveat, and I'll cover that more tomorrow, where it potentially prohibits him from doing anything abroad as well. But we'll cover that. I want to discuss, and guys, if you're experts on PEDs, that's fantastic for you. I'm not, and there's going to be a few of us that aren't as well. So we're going to discuss common drugs, how they're used, how they're ingested, how long they're in the system for, what they're used for, tests, bans, etc., etc. So we're going to be covering kind of like the base knowledge of it, so I can sort of get my head around it. If it's not for you, that's fine. But if you want to get a little bit of an insight, join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Good, Chris. Who wants to be boring? No one wants to be boring. I know you don't care about Misfits. I'm watching the TNT fight, yeah. I've got to. Oh, here we go. Who said he was going to stop him in 2 rounds? Who called that? Hold on. Was it Andrew, our new guest? Shout out to Andrew. Andrew said this won't go to... Yeah. Well done, Andrew. Should only last 1 to 2 rounds. I hope you put a bet on that. Yeah, he looked concussed. Yeah, at least he's got the stoppage. Welcome back to young Huey Fury. And he is young as well for the amount of fights that he's had. He's got the stoppage. You'll be happy about that. And he only boxed 2 weeks ago. You know, the first fight that he's had after being out for 3 years with various health issues. And he's come back and got the stoppage. Fair enough. I didn't know who his opponent was, but good for him. Like we said, muscles don't win fights. Yes, round two stoppage. Yeah, I think I'll do the same as you, Chile. I won't be staying up. I struggle. Those of you that tune into the lives will know that I struggle to talk properly. I mean, I struggle anyway. But 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, no. But the only one I regretted that I didn't. Well, there's two actually. There's Anthony Joshua when he fought Andy Ruiz in New York, and then obviously the other day Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And obviously now we've got more positive tests come out of that one as well. Yeah, I mean, when we talk about it, Chris, it's just for me to try and get my head round the performance enhancing drugs, the effects, the testing system, the procedures, the legalities. It's just all of that because I hear like positive tests in like the news and I'm thinking, can't really ask much about that because I don't really understand it because you'd think that everyone screams strict liability. So you've got a banned substance. There may be mitigation, but you've got a banned substance in your system. And as per our guidelines, I don't know, is there a ban? Is there a forfeit? Whatever there is, but there's so much grey area around it. So I need to get that into my head and try and understand it. Listen, I'm not one of these that pretends to be a know-it-all. I'm still learning. So it will be a little bit of a scratch record for that one, Chris. No, it was 3. I thought it was 3. Wasn't it 2021? Loma fight is on record. Yeah. Well done. Yeah, I'm glad he's back. And guys, it's a week. We are a week away from the undisputed bout. Can you believe it? A week. Remember when we were saying, oh, flipping hell, it's been postponed. Remember that we had His Excellency on camera with Tyson Fury there, Usyk and Aegis Klimas there on that kind of like Zoom meeting saying, well, if somebody drops out, you're going to have to pay like a forfeit, etc., etc. And now we're going into fight week. I am absolutely gassed about this week. I said last year when I started thinking about Usyk and Fury, and please put the comments in the chat, I thought that Fury was going to do it. And then we had Fury and Ngannou, and then the doubt started to creep in. And then I'm thinking, oh, maybe he didn't train, maybe he had an off night. And I was to-ing and fro-ing, and I couldn't make up my mind. But I've gone back to my original prediction, which is Fury for the win. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I want him to win as well. I'd like him to win. I'd like to see him win. Listening to some of the backstories on both fighters, actually, because to be fair, DAZN, TNT, they've been doing some really good work on getting like the backstories on both fighters. Even Sky Sports chiming in with some vintage work of when Tyson Fury was fighting in his younger years. You know, they've really reached out to the boxing fans and on an emotional tip on to say, look at these fighters, look at what they've achieved, look at what they've been through. And I like that because then it makes it a little bit more personal and therefore we anticipate it more because now that we've got a little bit of a backstory going into the fight. So yeah, really looking forward to that. No, HGV, I'm not going. I'm going to be here doing a live stream as I am this evening. It's sort of like a cheat code, if I'm going to be honest, because at the end of the day, I'm going to save how much money I would have spent on travel, expenses, accommodation. All I've got to do is make sure the internet's okay. And those of you that have tuned into lives know that my internet's as dodgy as hell. However, on the whole, it can be all right. And then when it's finished, we say goodnight and then I just go upstairs to bed. I think I don't mind doing the live watch alongs. It's convenient, very, very convenient. And I have the company of you guys as well, because you really keep me entertained on these lives. Um, right, here we go. Andrew said, I've got Usyk, unanimous decision, and maybe a late stoppage. Interesting. You know, I was watching Andrew, Usyk versus Anthony Joshua and Usyk versus Tony Bellew, and that stemmed from the documentaries that I was just talking about, the aforementioned documentaries that I was just speaking about. And the one thing with Usyk is he tires you. He makes you tired up here because he's constantly moving. He's got this lateral movement. I think people were taking the mick out of him when they saw him doing all of that movement. But if you look at his fighting, that's how he is. He's continuously moving side to side. He's sort of like tap, tap, bang, tap, tap, body, head, body, head. And he's just like all of that, strain on the brain. And you could see with Tony Bellew, with Anthony Joshua, that they were just exhausted. Tony Bellew spoke to me about it and has spoke on camera about it several times. So to me, that's the test for Fury. Can he deal with that mental pressure of having to constantly be switched on when it comes to Usyk's style? Karma's saying, I'm nervous about this fight. I'm more excited. Yeah, I haven't got the nerves for this. I think what will make me nervous, should the guys get the rematch out of the way or whatever's going to happen, I'll be nervous when Anthony Joshua either rematches Usyk based on if he wins, or obviously the fresh fight with him and Tyson Fury. I think that's when I'll get nervous. But I think for this one, I'm just excited. And they're there. We've seen them. We've seen them on the aeroplane. We've seen them collect the flowers. We've seen them have the lovely reception. They are there. It is, you could almost say it's fight week. And I feel almost rude to the other cards, the other fights that are going on, because that's just going to overshadow everything. What are we saying? 25 years since Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. That was the last undisputed at heavyweight. And then also what they're saying, this is the first of the 4-belt era. So this fight is really significant in boxing history, because in another 20 years or however long it is, they'll be talking about May the 18th. So I'm glad to be alive. Touch wood, we've got to get to next week, but I'm glad to be around to be able to witness that. Really, I'm excited. Here we go. Chili saying the heart wants Usyk, head says Fury. A lot of people are saying that, whether it's in that order or reversed. It's going to be, it will divide a lot of us. I mean, I put up, I want Fury to win. And a few people have said, people that I get on with and that I know are like, why are you saying that? Because they more want Usyk to win. Right, Ricky's saying, I'm still mad that Beterbiev and Bivol got postponed. Yeah, same. I remember that Beterbiev postponed the fight that he had with Callum Smith because of injury, but people are saying this is like the third fight. So whoever the other fight was, please put it in the chat, because I can't remember off the top of my head. The worrying thing, and I don't want to admit this because I'm a massive Beterbiev fan, is it father time? That's what I wouldn't like to see. I wouldn't like to see this be the end of Artur Beterbiev. But I know that I think the organisation have asked for proof of the injury, and now we move on. So obviously the other conversation we've been having this week is the WBO have ordered Buatsi Yard. Well, ordered it, and then let's start having negotiations, etc., etc. But if there's a little bit of a discrepancy in relation to who is the management, who is the promoter for Anthony Yard. But on that letter, it's addressed to Frank Warren. And obviously, Buatsi, it's addressed to Boxer, Ben Shalom of Boxer. So, interim title while they wait for the medicals, etc., etc. Will Beterbiev be stripped? What's going to go on? So there's so much going on in boxing, not just the fights that are on tonight. But yeah, I'm gutted for Beterbiev. Massive fan of his. Met him at the press conference when I was there, and I'm mindful that he doesn't really speak English, and I'm not a fan of doing scrums. This is not like Formula One. This is boxing. So I was just like, I said to his PA, who kindly said, yes, I just got a picture with him. And that was enough for me. Jerry Ryan is saying, I want Usyk to win. Andrew, Talksporter, definitely Fury. Beat Huggers. I think that changed, didn't it? Didn't that change when he was over in Saudi the first time? It's not as close as it used to be. I've always said Usyk wins. That was before the joke fight with Ngannou, and that's from Chris Welsh. Let's have a look. Andrew saying big up to Karma. Yeah, she's amazing. Please, like I said, subscribe to Karma Serene's channel. She's also on Twitter. Some funny tweets and the occasional Bible verse we'll get from Karma as well. Very versatile lady indeed. Adam, I am doing okay. How are you this evening? You know, Adam, we could always be better, couldn't we? But there's no point in me coming on here and being all depressed. So I'm going to put on my smile, just like the Joker. Turn that frown upside down. Wow, Huey just put on a great performance. Well done, Fury team, back home in half an hour, and I'll be on then. You drive safely, Matty. Fury best chance is targeting Usyk's body, but Usyk will know that Fury will target that. And yes, and this is why he will move. And, you know, that's what I was saying about the ring generalship. The IQ has to really be strong from Fury. Usyk has got a rhythm. And if Fury can suss out that rhythm, he can get to him and slow him down. And obviously, to slow him down, you've got to stop the legs, and you stop the legs by those good body shots. It's intriguing. I am really looking forward to it because there's ways to beat the both of them. Even though we know that Fury has been like spark out on the floor from the shot from Deontay Wilder and got up. However long you counted it for, he still got up. Usyk wins first fight, but Fury wins a rematch. And it does look like we are going into that rematch as well, because remember, there was some suggestion that there may be a step aside to pull Anthony Joshua into the mix. Anthony Joshua was on Talksport when he was over at was it the Formula One? I think it was Formula One, it wasn't F2. And he was saying, oh, you know, it's possibly Wembley, the 21st of September. So I'm scrambling around trying to reserve a hotel, blah, blah, blah. And now it's come up that His Excellency said another date, even though we were thinking that it could have been a Wilder fight. Now Jared Anderson has been brought in as a potential opponent for Deontay Wilder, which will be in America. So it is all over the place. There is no rhyme or reason. We're not really dealing with rankings when it comes to these fights. It's His Excellency and the team looking at fighters like they've got their lists or some video footage of them and saying, yeah, okay, I want those two. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. But I'm here for it. Because I'll be interesting to see how far Jared Anderson is going to go, how serious he really takes the sport. Wilder, what are we saying about Wilder? You know, he's going up against Zhang, who performs heavy-handed, tough, rugged. But then we've seen what happens to him in the later rounds in the fight. Best fight he had was with him and Hrgovic. We saw them both tired, but they both went flat out with each other. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. Going on to Hrgovic. Hrgovic is going to, and this is the 5x5. Hrgovic is going to be fighting Daniel Dubois. Good fight. Good fight. We'll see what happens with that. But look at it. We're just rich with boxing. We're being fed a lot of boxing, whether people like it or not, because there'll always be some complaints. There'll always be some downsides. I think I ain't complaining. Andrew, Usyk knows he can't afford for the fight to be close. He will try and close the show. Yeah, I agree. I think they both will. I think, um, with Tyson Fury's last fight against Francis Ngannou, and rest in peace to his son as well. Condolences to the Ngannou family. When he got knocked down, and what I liked about his post fight, he giggled and said, "I didn't even see that coming." Like honest, like the honest shock. And then Usyk getting in the ring, I can't remember who I was speaking to, obviously offline, saying he just looked bewildered because he'd been knocked down. Obviously, he won on points, and then straight away, Usyk comes into the ring, and he was all over the gaff. But yeah, so James is saying I've got Usyk winning this one. If I knew how to put up a poll, I would, but I don't know how to do them. I'll learn. I'll go and do some, StreamYard homework and see how we can put a poll up in the chat just to make it a little bit more engaging. Let's have a look. Andrew, I think Fury might retire after the first fight or cash out with AJ. You reckon? Then we get Fury versus AJ March 2025, Wembley Stadium, undisputed, sorted. Yeah, 2025. But AJ's got to have I'd say, well, I'm going to make the assumption that he wants to have a fight because it was Christmas when he last fought? What date was it? I can't remember. So he's gone on about keeping active. He needs to keep that momentum going. Adam saying, I think Usyk will win, but I want Fury to win. I've had a bet on a draw for the odds. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's have a look. Andrew's asking if Karma Serene is doing a watch along next Saturday. If you're not Karma and you want to jump on mine, please feel free. Tech Test October. Keep up the great work. Glad to see the channel doing well. Onwards and upwards. God bless. And thank you very much for those kind words. I can't do this without you lot. You lot are the subscribers. If you've just joined us, like I said, I'm Abs of October Red. It's Saturday Fight Night Live. I do spend a lot of time, if you're not used to it, in the chat with the guys, catching up, finding out what's going on. And then we do cover some of the commentary on the live watch along. But right about now, everyone's waffling, and that includes me. But like I said, I know I've got the best subscribers. I'm grateful for all of yous and the guests, obviously, because if you didn't have nothing to watch, you wouldn't subscribe, would you? James, great interview with Joshua Boatsi's manager and Savage Dan. I didn't agree with everything they said, but it's great to know their mindset. And that's the thing, James. Boxing is so fluid. Not all of us, are going to agree with everything, but healthy debates is what I'm really interested in, not shouting, slanging matches and everyone's ego going out of control, because I think that's what you get with a lot of the online stuff. You can listen to somebody's perspective and not agree with everything, and it's okay. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got to agree with everyone. It'd be boring then. Okay, so Karma's saying she probably will be, but it depends on the schedule. Be my first ever time witnessing Undisputed Lennox Lewis fight was the year you were born. Thanks for that, Chris. Thanks for making me know my age. Thank you. Usyk knows he needs to win for Ukraine. I did say that to Igis Klimas. What would it mean for the home country after everything that's going on out there? What would it mean to get that win? Beterbiev, too injury prone. Unfortunately, he only has the Bivol fight left. I did think that maybe Bivol fight would be the last one. I thought he would win, and I'll still stand by that. And then he'd retire and the belts would scatter. Right, okay, so actually, of course, Chile, you're right, Yard Beterbiev was postponed. Yeah, okay. Yes, you're right. Star Fox, good evening. Big up to yourself as well. I'm shocked this fight was made tonight. Mccaskill versus Price. First massive step up. Straight away, Mccaskill was poor in the last two fights. She will have a point to prove. Yeah, I think it's a good fight. And I'm obviously rooting for Lauren to win, and she can win. And I do believe that the Sandy Ryan fight wasn't a draw with Mccaskill. I think Sandy Ryan won that, and that's got nothing to do with my bias with Sandy. I can sit there and have a non-biased opinion on boxing, believe it or not. Yes, I believe it was Yard. Grace Edmonds, good evening. I believe it was Yard versus Beterbiev. Okay, got it. Usyk has never lost the second half of a fight. Literally. Interesting. Adam says, I'm good, thank you. I love your smile. You always make my day, October Red. Keep up the good work. Oh, that's very kind of you. Very kind of you. But I actually react better to insults and compliments. And speaking of insults, where is AP in the chat tonight? Absolute disgrace. He's been slacking off recently. Chris is saying Usyk could be losing on a scorecard and can win rounds in a row. And that is because of his hands continuously moving, hit body, hit head, hit body, hit head, and that movement. He always passes the eye test, doesn't he? Let's have a look. Fury needs to try and trap Usyk to stop his rhythm. Yeah, totally agree with you. The Inoue fight, yeah, it was beautiful, wasn't it? You know, when he got knocked down and then he come back. The thing is with Inoue, it's almost like he sees things in numerical code. Fair enough, he got the knockdown, but the way that he fights, even when you watch it back in slow motion, he is something else. I do like watching his fights actually, and the fact that they're on midday and it is from Japan is just beautiful. You haven't got to get up at like silly o'clock in the morning. Toby Ringgirl Bartlett, good evening. Hope all is well. All is well this side, and I hope all is good with you. Chikwa Chibwe. Usyk is able to change his rhythm. Against AJ in the last 3 rounds, he increased the pace. AJ was knackered and couldn't keep up. This is what I was saying about that mental pressure that he puts on you. No, you haven't missed much, Matty, and good evening to you. It's just me rabbiting on for a bit, going through the chat, while Johnny Nelson is rabbiting on Sky. Right, Jerry's saying AJ was not well when he fought Usyk, and you reckon that what on both times, Jerry? Remember they've fought twice. You don't. He wasn't. He couldn't have been sick both times. Best thing about the Fury Usyk bout, and this is from Star Fox, is that Gareth A. Davis will boycott the fight due to it being in Saudi, like he did AJ. You know what? Look, how many times have we seen boxing make us all hypocrites? We've all done it. We've all done it. Some have been more loud about it than others, but we've definitely all been trapped by being a hypocrite. And not just in boxing, just in anything. How many times have you said something and you've done a U-turn on it? Maybe not quite a U-turn, but a 180. Natasha always looks good. She's stunning. I've got so much time for Tash. I've actually reached out to her to try and get her on the channel. But she's at the gym in Manchester, so I might see if I'm up there, I'll just fly up there and have a chat with her. I'm at boxing in Leeds next week. Leeds? Isn't that the 25th? I'm thinking of Taylor Catterall 2, aren't I? That's in Leeds, isn't it? Red AJ said he's fighting again. Yeah, I said that. He said it on Sky Sports. Leonard Sterling, thank you very much for the £5 donation. I really appreciate it. No Sky, how long for Mccaskill Price? Watching VIP for Hill versus Zarika. And we'll be listening to your Mccaskill versus Price commentary. Have a good one. I appreciate that, Leonard. I think they're passing time. I think we've got one more fight and then it's the main. We've got Reese Edwards and then the main. But they're filling a gap here because obviously, what's the main? Usually about a 10 o'clock walkout. So they're just filling this with air. They probably should have put a bit of a gap between Huey fighting, but we'll see. Mate, it doesn't take much for me to start annoying people. Sometimes you just got to look in the wrong direction. It pisses people off. Excuse my language. Anyway, seemed to do everything right. I love watching him and Loma. Yeah, Loma's on the road to recovery, isn't he? A fighter that seemed untouched until he went in with Teofimo Lopez. And I always had a feeling that he was going to win that fight, Teofimo. His mental health. I worked in mental health for 25 years. That must have been interesting. That's it. That must have been interesting. I don't do 180s unless it's Google Maps. 2 weeks in Leeds, yeah. If Price wins, wow, fair play to a unified champion this early. Yeah, it's literally, listen, it's a baptism of fire, but you've seen that both ladies have been really respectful. Jessica Mccaskill has achieved a lot. I would say her career hasn't been that long as such, or she came to the notice of the British public. It was obviously Katie Taylor, wasn't it? That's the first time I remember Jessica Mccaskill. So, but who knows? Who knows? No, I won't be. Well, if I watch the Mexico card, and you're right, James, they are exciting fights. They're never boring fights, but that will be a catch up on DAZN. I'm not getting up for that. And you want Loma to win? Yeah, it would be good to see him win, actually, to be fair. Let's have a look. Chris is saying, I was watching the Inoue fight on Monday, seeing him get knocked down first round. I was gobsmacked. And then he did Inoue things afterwards. I don't think I've got an unpopular boxing opinion. I don't think I've got one. And if you think I've got one, put it in the chat. I'll name this account later. I don't know. I tend to say what I say, and if people don't like it, that's down to them, isn't it? So I'm not sure. I'd only know if it was unpopular if I've had a lot of feedback that's made me notice it. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I'll let you guys say what it is, because I know I can come across bias. I think that sometimes that'll rub people up the wrong way. So Toby Ringo Bartlett is saying Tasha has got to be peed with Ben for not getting her on the Mccaskill fight and then having to work for Sky as a presenter when she should be fighting, but a true pro. I love Miss GB. That's why I wanted to get her on the chat, because somebody mentioned it. I can't remember who it was. And if it was you, may I ask that you just put it in the comments that you brought it up. Somebody mentioned it. I need to start writing down, because my memory is fuzzy. Somebody actually mentioned the fact that they thought Tasha should be the one in the ring. It's one of them, isn't it? You can't please everyone in boxing. This old lady was an Ali fan. Old lady? You talking about me again? Have you had a go at boxing yourself? Cheeky round sparring? Yeah, I trained for like 3 or 4 years in a boxing gym. No fights, sparred, absolutely rubbish at it, but I understood it. If I was in a corner, I could always give better advice and understand what the opponent was going to do than when I was in the ring doing it. Boxing's not for everyone, but I did it for fitness. It makes you fit. It's beautiful for fitness. And I thought about getting a seconds license at one point, but that just kind of like fizzled off into the ether. Excuse me. But yeah, for fitness, yeah. But never had any fights or anything. Um, but I've obviously boxed with people that have. No disrespect to Mccaskill, this is from Adam, but I think Lauren will win this fight quite easily on points. Far too much skill for Mccaskill. Lauren is quality. Defo a future undisputed champion, in my opinion. And I don't think she gets the credit that she deserves, Adam. So I'm glad you've actually said that. I'm glad you've actually said that. Why doesn't Joshua Buatsi take small change and back himself in the past? You did a great interview last week, and that was part of my pushback. Sometimes I get it. If you guys think about it, right? How would you feel if somebody said to you, you've got this figure in your mind, I don't know, you're going for a job or whatever it is, and then somebody like sort of scoffs and said, but you're not worth that. When you know that you've done all this graft through the amateurs, you're an Olympian, you've turned over pro. I get it, you'll have a certain standard for yourself, but professional boxing isn't like that, is it? It's about sometimes taking those chances. Craig Richards took a chance with Dimitri Bivol, lost the fight, but he took the chance. He might not have got, all of this big money, etc., but he still took the chance. That's the only thing I will agree with you that I do believe. Whoever the promoter is, cut the promoters out of it. Joshua Buatsi and short notice, because they said it was something like 3 weeks. And as somebody said about staying ready, you can stay ready in the gym. But when you're going up against an elite, I would say you probably need more than 3 weeks. Bivol is elite, isn't he, in the light heavyweight division? It's between him and Beterbiev. This is where we were looking to settle the score, who is the best of the best. But I'd rather be active and, make a little bit of money or maybe take a price cut, because if I believe in myself enough and then I win the belts and then I become the champion, then I become the A side. It's a risk, isn't it? It's a risk. But I'm not a fighter. I can only speak from my opinion. I don't go in the ring and get, 7 shades of whatever knocked out of me for a living for people to moan and say that I'm fighting a bomb or whatever. So they're going to have a different opinion. So I'm trying to be as balanced as I can with that one. Price certainly rolling the dice straight away, but just think she's inexperienced, which is why I back Mccaskill. But sometimes Price needs to get that experience. Yeah, she's straight in the deep end. Straight in the deep end. Would have preferred Price to take necessary step ups, but we've got to see what happens. I applaud her for doing this because I think it's a risk, but she's willing to take it. I think she's skilled, and I don't think people give her enough credit for her skill base. But not long till we find out who wins. Let's have a look. I would have loved to have been a boxer. One of my biggest regrets. Just do it for fitness. Just do it for fitness. You haven't got to go out there and do anything. I always said that as well. That maybe if I'd done something like this when I was younger, I might have done it, but I would have been boxing 20 years ago, if you look at it like that. And I don't think it was it's difficult now, but I don't think it would have been an easy place, or I would have made anything really of it as a female in boxing. Yeah. Red is a female version of Ben Boxfit Davidson. Nice. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, because I'm a qualified personal trainer as well. So maybe. These fighters get knockouts, don't they? But stop putting these pressures on the trainers. I keep saying this to everybody. When we keep on getting this trainer of the year, or he's the best trainer, stop doing it, because when they start to lose, subconsciously your expectations are on the ceiling. And then when their fighters start to lose, you start critiquing them, and that will have an effect on the rest of their team, their fighters, whether they say they listen to the media or not. It has an effect. I get it. Compliments are good, aren't they? Because they make you feel good. But too many of them, you forget what you're doing, and it can go to your head. And then when certain things happen, you're just within yourself. You're just absolutely gutted. So, good trainer, yes. Give them the props, yes. But Yeah, not too much gassing. With less impressive hair. How's that for an insult? Mate, you gotta do hard, you gotta work harder than that. I get lovely insults off my kids. So no. We all insult each other in this house. You'd know that if you'd listen to our lives. Price will certainly get favoured on the scorecards anyway. We know what local judges are like. Always go by crowd noise. Yeah. Toby Ringo saying that Joel Gallagher said Tasha was really peed at Boxer for not getting the Mccaskill fight on the seconds out interview. Fair enough. Okay. But Tasha's quite diplomatic, so she's probably not, wouldn't have said it herself. We've got Reese Edwards and Patrick Ward in the ring at the moment. Reese Edwards, I think he was in the same gym as Liam Williams. I do believe so. Or there were, because I know that Reese had sparred or had some rounds in with Liam Williams. I think when he was going to fight Chris Eubank Jr., who it's come out finally that he's a free agent, even though it was said that he was a while ago. Right, Sandy Ryan should have all the belts, and she was robbed against Mccaskill, and that's from Chris Welsh. And I do second that. I do believe that. Chili tea, I never do pound for pound because it's subjective. And I believe that I should judge someone's accolades on an inactive fighter, a fighter that's finished. So I never do pound for pound. I don't. Chris Men is definitely Inoue. Crawford certainly got the win on his resume, but not active enough. Usyk fought once last year. Canelo opponents are cherry picks. See what I mean? It's all subjective. If I was a pro boxer, which trainer would I choose? I need to think about that one. I'll get back to you, Adam. You're going to have to remind me, though, but I need to think about that one. Who would I like talking to me in the corner? Who would make me feel chilled? There's two trainers that I get on with. Why are the balloons? Why are the balloon? I don't know. There's two trainers that I. God, there's more than two trainers that I get on with. That's a bit of a tricky one. I literally have to sit and think on that one. Ben wins hairdo of the year every year, and he's a nice guy as well. To be fair, by the way, Price getting favoured is not a dig. It's just what it is. She may still win in my eyes when I'm watching it. Definitely agree. She's special no matter what. No matter what. Proud of her for taking this already. And it's one of them, isn't it? Because it's like, first we complain that fighters aren't taking fights. It's like from one end to the other, and then it's like too soon. I get on really well with Peter Fury. I get on well with Max McCracken from Birmingham. I get on really well with Angel Fernandez. That's based out of Loughborough. That trains Fraser Clark, Richard Riatbor, Ezra Taylor, and Kieran Malloy. So those are the three trainers that I've probably been around the most. Angel is extremely technical. Peter is like about that IQ. And Max is like punch selection, having that good punch selection. So yeah. Eubank Jr. will choose to fight with the most. Yeah, it's about the money, isn't it? It's about the money. Right, now this is a really good question, Ricky, and I'm going to go with Serrano. Only because Kate has been in some wars over the years, and I know she's tough. She's a fabulous fighter, magnificent person, but my gut is telling me Serrano. Don't know why. It just is. But as in boxing, we could be wrong. And to be fair, Ricky, I don't even usually do predictions. Abel Ramos or Kay Karoma. Who's Kay Karoma? Who does he train? Because sometimes I don't know all the trainers' names. Star Fox is saying he'd go with Bolmac. Um, yeah, Bolmac. Just in case things pop off. Trainer and personality and security two for one. Yeah. You know, I've met him as well, and he's lovely, down to earth. You know, and I think there was one of his one of the guys in that group, trainer group. I think he got done for a shooting the other day as well, didn't he? Unless I'm reading things. And if allegedly, do I need to say that on here now, just in case I'm wrong? Allegedly, I'm sure I read it somewhere. Chris is saying that Bolmac's an unreal trainer. The way Crawford won against Spence, the way he trained Eubank Jr. for the rematch with Smith, and he actually listened. Eubank listened, didn't he? Plus, it's not a matchroom shot. Which one? What, this one tonight? Or you on about the Serrano one? Chris is saying Serrano wins as well. It's yeah. Kate has been in some, and even the war that she had with Chantal Cameron. It's going to add up, isn't it? It's going to add up, but we'll see. And Justin, yeah, this has already been echoed in the chat. Sandy Ryan got robbed by Mccaskill. Why is she still being taken seriously? Because she's got all the belts. She's got all the belts, hasn't she? The one thing that I say to a fighter, and I'm sharing my little trade secrets that I have with fighters. Only ones that are genuinely. I mean, I get on with a lot of fighters, but the ones that I'll probably sit down and speak to more on a personal level when the cameras are off. I always say to them, get a belt. Your value is in the belt. As long as belts are still seen as that commodity, even though we can argue and say now that the value of the belt seems to be decreasing, but as a fighter, if you've got a belt, you've got power. Right, I'll put it this way. Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley went at it a few weeks ago. We were here, we watched the live, and that ended up in a draw. We know that Fabio has, in a way, I like to call him self-made because he was on a fight-by-fight deal with Matchroom. He's managed by Dillian White. He accumulated 2 belts on his fights and carried them strong. This is just my opinion and how it looked to me. Obviously, there may have been he was due to possibly re-sign or re-enter maybe a contract. I can't say re-enter if he's on a fight-by-fight, but maybe he was offered a contract or maybe offered a fight, and he used his leverage, which is the belt, and he went out and fought David Adelaide on the Saudi card. Was that the first Saudi card? Obviously, David Adelaide lost. He retained his belts, and then guess what? He moved over to Sky, fighting on Sky Sports Boxer. He's got the belts. The value is in the belts because you've got some young, up and coming, hungry young bloods that want those belts, yeah, at heavyweight. So he has got a possession. He's got a prized possession. And then he had a draw with Fabio. What would happen if he'd lost the belts? Would that value of his still be up where it is because he hasn't got the belts? Now, I'm asking you, what do you think? Put it in the chat. But I do believe that belts have a value, especially at the British level, because you've always got the young ones that want to come in and take that, whether they want to keep it or vacate it or whatever. At that level, they've got value. British belts I was talking about, by the way. So I'm going to say that's why she's been taken seriously. That's my opinion. Please let me know if you differ in the chat. Katie could get stopped. Yeah, she could indeed. Where's Bolmax, Jim? Who knows? Mccaskill has a WBA and the ring belt. It's a shame if Eubank Jr. never becomes a world champion. He would have made a great, flamboyant world champion with his entertaining personality. He definitely would, but because his career has been so stop-start, he was one of the fighters that I was rooting for in the beginning because of his personality, because of the way that he's just his whole demeanor, very similar to his father, like a clone of his father. He's got that humor, he's got that wit, he's sharp, he's sarcastic, but his career has just been so stop-start. It's just a shame to see. I don't know what he wants. He says obviously he's a free agent now, but we'll see what happens with him. Bomac could be the one that turns everything round for him because, like you've said in the comments, that was he fought really well under Bomac, better than he fought with Roy Jones Jr. I think we can all go for that designer name, can't we? Roy Jones Jr. being one of the pinnacle designer names in boxing. But if you don't have that relationship, that gelling, that the fact that you can really work together to bring out the best of the fighter, it's not going to work, is it? But Bomac worked for him. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Not all belts. Mccaskill, WBA, Hazardbeen, WBC, Jonas, IBF, and Ryan. But some of them do, right? People are going to want belts, aren't they? Oh, here we go. Andrew's asking, did Mccaskill get stripped of the others? And speaking of that, Mccaskill's just getting a hand wraps done now. To be fair, they're supposed to be out in a bit. They'll probably be going on at, I'd say, about 10 o'clock. Let me have a look on BoxRec. Right, hold on. So IBO and WBA, Jessica's, the belts that are on the line tonight. Good evening, Kayoshi. How you doing? I'm all good. All the better for seeing you. Thanks for joining. It's about 8. Gosh, that's down the road. Literally down the road. 8 miles. You could run there. Yeah, Karma's saying I never rated Roy Jones Jr. as a trainer. You can't teach athleticism. It's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. See? This is what I love about Karma. She's just going to tell it how it is. But the thing is with Karma, you tell it in a classy, respectful way. And I like that because you're sort of like a smiling assassin. No one will really see you coming because you got away with words. Yeah, we like it. Andrew is saying that Lauren Price is the faster and more accurate technical fighter, and she's naturally bigger. Yeah, she was definitely bigger. We saw that. She was just like, she's more thick set, isn't she? Where Mccaskill was sort of slight in comparison to Lauren. Yeah, there was definitely a size difference on the scales. Gosh, we were up to 150 odd in the live. If you could, ladies and gentlemen, those alike, could you hit the like button if you want? I think you should if you're in here. Just hit the like button. Share it on X, even though we're streaming live on X as we speak as well. And hit the subscribe button as well. I'm really trying to get up to, but naturally trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers. I said if I get to 10K subscribers, I'm probably going to close and lock off my IG account and just literally do everything via YouTube and TikTok because I can't be arsed with Instagram. Yeah. We like that. Karma the smiling assassin, Serene, we like that. Karma is away with words. She confuses you with that beautiful smile. See? I love this. You're not lying though, James, to be fair. You're not lying. Eubank Jr. is an absolute waste of a career. So far, his personality makes him a pay-per-view star, and he knows how to promote his own fights. opposition always gets rattled by him. And this is, you could almost like put your hands around his neck, and I'm just saying that like metaphorically, and like just shake him and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? People would love to have what you have. Let's see you, put it into practice, because he's not getting any younger, is he? Well, none of us are, but he definitely isn't. Calm as eyes. Even Eubank Jr. didn't win a world title, let alone fight for one. And Toby Ringel Bartlett, what's he saying? Toby's going to have to get it in there. Have you seen anything with the ring girl? Obviously, you're not going to see any on Sky. Have you had a look at the ring girls on TNT Sports? Well, to be fair, Toby, you might even want to flick onto DAZN, because the Misfits card's on there, and I guarantee they will have some ring girls for you to keep those eyeballs of yours busy. Right, there's no way, Justin has said there's no way of knowing what Tyson will bring, but we know he's not kept his body in shape religiously over the past few years. This will be the big difference between him and Usyk. He's done it before though, hasn't he? He's lost a lot of weight, and I'm talking about over 5-6 stone in shorter periods of time, and he's done particularly well. He's able to do that. We've seen it with him before, but we've seen him come in not in the best shape as he did with Ngannou, and we understand what can happen with that. Fury's not one of these that, comes out with like all the ripped muscles and everything. He's not that type of fighter. But we know when Fury's in Fury fit shape to when he isn't. No, to be fair, I don't even know what's happening with young Ebony. Obviously, I see her post on Instagram, but nothing mentioning about when her next fight is. To be fair, and credit to Ebony, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have said it several times before. Ebony invests her own money into sponsoring and taking care of some other female fighters, such as Stevie Levy, Nicola Hopewell, and I think she may have one more. She sponsors them, so she takes care of them financially to help them with their career. Not many people know that. She's probably, I'm not saying that other fighters don't do it, by the way, but I'm saying that because you've mentioned Ebony. Probably one of the most generous in the fighting game. Really, really nice person. So, guys, if you've just joined us, you know what it is. It's debatable because I'm not commentating at the moment. It's Saturday Night Live watch along. So if you've just joined us, good evening. Hit the like, subscribe, the usual stuff, and joining in the chat. One thing I will say is that we have a really good chat here, and I love to engage with you guys because you come up with some really good stuff, some interesting conversation, and of course we have the banter. We've had a little bit tonight, not as much as we usually get, but we've had a bit. But you know what we're here for. We're here for the fight between Jessica Mccaskill and Lauren Price. A real jump, a leap for Lauren. But I'm going to take a leap of faith and believe that she's going to do it and she's going to be okay. Bruce Gass, good evening to you as well. No way can you get your hands around it. Well, I wouldn't really, would I? That's what the big collars are for. I wouldn't. Metaphorically speaking, you just want to shake him. Ring girls, we're there to watch fights. But the ring girls do provide a bit of, I don't know what they provide. I'll let the guys in the chat answer that. But I don't have any problems with any seeing ring girls doing their ring girl thing. Yeah. Andrew says top rank ring girls are nice. They got all of, and I'm going to say assets. I know that's not what you've typed, but that's what I'm going to say. Top rank ring girls are nice. They've got all of the assets. I'll just leave that up to you guys. But they are very pretty. They're very glam, aren't they? They're very, very glam. Very glam. No, I haven't seen any yet. I'll wait until later in the Matchroom Mexican card. Fair enough. Oh, I love this bit of camaraderie in the chat. Right, so how long have we got left? I think we're on break for both of the fights. Like I said to you guys earlier, if there's repetition here, I do apologise. Tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a live 10 a.m. UK time with a guy from the fitness industry, Sylvester Dash, who sells supplements, all of the protein powders, this, that, and the other, who has a bit of a knowledge around the PEDs. And we're going to be discussing a little bit about PEDs. We're going to talk about the legalities of them, why they're illegal, what they actually do, how long they have to be in your system. And it's going to cross over with some of the cases that are out there at the moment where we've had some positive tests. And we're probably going to be using some of the popular ones as examples. So that's going to be about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So yeah, join in for us for that one as well, because I have no clue on PEDs. And like I said earlier, I went onto the VADA website to have a look at their list. And Google is your friend. Go and have a look. And WADA, and the lists are long and they are updated regularly. Yeah. So Chris is saying, when I've been to boxing live, I always take notice of them. And I'll wait till they've gone, and then I'll watch what I've come for. They're there, aren't they? It's just I can't even say what I want to say because I don't know if it's like deemed as offensive these days, because you can't say anything anymore, can you? I was brought up in the 80s watching carry-on films from the 60s, so I know where my sense of humour is. Ian Cheekbeard read, Frampton had a theory on Fury a few months back. He has come forward and he has to be aggressive these days because his knees and ankles aren't up to it anymore. What do you make of that? And good evening to you, Ian. Apologies, I don't think I've seen you here before, so if you're new, welcome to you. It's a good one because, and I'll put this back out to the chat as well. When he fought Ngannou, he had his ankles strapped up with like the tape, the hand tape. Now, I don't know if that's to keep his laces down. I don't know if he's ever done that before, if it's common practice. But somebody else pointed it out and suggested that maybe it might be something to do with obviously his knees or his legs, etc., etc. So who knows? Come forward and aggressive, which is exactly what he did in the Wilder 2 bout. So yeah, I get that. He's got to be front-footed. Usyk's not afraid to fight on the back foot, and he'll go from left to right and left. He'll be moving all over the ring. Fury's got to cut that ring off, or try his best to cut that ring off, put the pressure on him, squeeze him, do his tricks that he does, whatever. And he's got to cut that ring off, and he's got to take his legs away. Yeah, I can't even argue with that. Toby Ring Girl Bartlett says they let us know what round it is, and it's a great job from the Ring Girls. Kayoshi's saying your recent live interviews have been top notch. Really enjoyed your live with Hot Shot and Savage Dan. Yeah, that came about because obviously there was all this kerfuffle with contracts, and Frank Warren saying that everything was good to go, Ben Shalom saying that everything's good to go, 50-50 split, channel split, everything, blah, blah, blah. Joshua Buatsi started tweeting, which Joshua Buatsi never says anything on Twitter. Then we get like a Sky Sports post of, Joshua Buatsi calling out Anthony Yard. Then we get Anthony Yard saying he had to pull over in his car and he wants to, he's got some contractual, sort of like contractual issues which they're trying to sort out, and he does want the fight, etc., etc., etc. Then Frank Warren says, hold on a minute, yeah, he's still contracted to us. Don't know what's going on there, blah, blah, blah. Undefeated Podcast, shout out to KG and Travis from the Undefeated Podcast. They do their Monday Night Smoke. And on one of those episodes, KG said that Buatsi needs a spokesperson. Buatsi needs somebody that is going to speak up for him because nobody does. Anthony Yard's got his team that speak for him. Joshua Buatsi needs someone that speaks for him. Now, Dwayne Sinclair has been a friend of Joshua Buatsi, I think he said, since they were 14 years old. and he's not afraid to say what he thinks. So I noticed that he'd put up on his Instagram profile. Sorry, someone sent it to me and said, look at what Hot Shot's doing. So I went over, saw it, followed him, and then sent him a message and saying, what are you saying? Should we have a chat about this? And then I messaged Savage Dan, obviously on behalf of Boxer, and said, we're doing this. I think it'd be good if you were there. And then obviously the rest is history. Knee-jerk reaction or whatever was going on in the background because of obviously Beterbiev with his injury. And then all of a sudden it's now the WBO have ordered that. So it's good. It was good timing. Good timing. Good for promotion. Let's see what happens with it. We'll just have to wait and see. But that was just a brief summary on that came about. You look at things, you look at what's going on in the market, and then you think, okay, let's discuss that. There's unanswered questions there. Let's see if we can find out what's going on, and hopefully Dwayne was able and Savage were able to give you some answers to what's actually going on with that process. There's been a good few comments in there, and shout out to the gentleman that gave like various points. I've pinned the comment on the live. It's in the normal comments now, not in the live chat. Have a look because there's some real good points raised in there. There's some that I agree with, some that I don't agree with, and there's a real good debate from it. And that's what we want. We're boxing fans. We're sitting here. I pay pay-per-view, I pay subscriptions, and we're thinking, well, what's going on? So hopefully, like I said, that answers some questions. Is there a screen, arena, stadium? We're still talking about ring girls. Do you have a favourite Rocky movie? No. I don't actually. That's too far back in my memory. I think I watched the Rocky films when I was a kid. I know a lot of people talk about it, but nah, I haven't. I know you're probably going to throw stones at it. How dare you? But no. I think there's a lot of credit given to a movie, and there's a lot of fighters that don't get the credit. And fantastic acting, good storyline, all the rest of it. But I think there's a lot of fighters that could do with a bit of credit like that movie gets because they've actually really done it. So no, I haven't got a favourite, sorry. That might be the unpopular opinion. I haven't got a favourite Rocky movie. Didn't Carl Froch meet his... I don't know. I didn't even know she was a ring girl. I don't know. What you're saying is the hope for you, Toby. And yeah, it is. It's definitely a hot topic. That's one word for it. It's a topic that I'm ignorant on. I don't understand it, Jerry, and that's why I want to do the discussion around it. And hopefully, by the end of the discussion, I can understand it a little bit more. The testing process, the fact that you've been having tests all the way through your camp. You know, the random tests that they do. That VADA will do. You signed up to, Clean Sport with WADA, VADA. You can test clean, and then you have a test on like the day before you fight. Obviously, the results don't come out until after the fight, and it's okay. Well, why haven't they been showing up in the other results? What's going on there? And it's just stuff like that. Because to me, it goes over my head, and I get really confused. And if you, like I said, if there's people in this chat that are experts on it, well done you. I'm not. So I need to learn about it. And if I need to learn about it, someone always says to me, don't be afraid to ask a question because there's probably about 100, 200 other people that want to ask the same question but won't actually put their hand up and do it. So that's the approach that I'm taking. Let's have a look. Callum Animation Studio. Good evening, Callum. Animation Studio. Interesting. Do you do like your own animations and stuff? And welcome. Lauren Price has been fighting to a high level most of her life. This is not a step up. She will have too much for Mccaskill. And we talk about that. And this is where the amateurs and the pros, and there's an argument. How many amateur fights, and I'll ask you, Callum, how many amateur fighters didn't do well or didn't do that well as amateurs? but have done exceptionally well in the pros, and how many did do well in the amateurs, but it hasn't really transpired over to the pros. And I guess it depends on the person. It can be different for anybody. Of course, Lauren, she's fought all over the world. She's an Olympian. She's fought the best of them. Um, but a lot of fighters say the pro game's different. I think Lauren will win. I'm not arguing with you, but I think sometimes amateurs is amateurs is really good, but is that the be all and end all? As in, can that really dictate your future as a pro? Please feel free to comment about that, because everyone will have different opinions. How many people? All right then. Apprenticeships back in the 90s, probably even the other day, apprenticeships was the way you go, you learn your trade on the job. You're getting paid little pennies. You work your way up. You start sweeping the floor until you get up and until you obviously progress your way all the way through a company. But then somebody else could be going to university, getting all of those qualifications, more of a theoretical approach with some practical experience. And then they're out in the job market and they get the highest job in the company because they've got all of this theoretical and these massive qualifications behind them. But then they actually don't know what they're doing. Just an example. I'm not saying that's the truth, because you've got some Olympians that have gone on to be world champions. I think it just depends on the fighter. But what I'm saying is you can't just solely rely on somebody's amateur background. That's just my personal opinion. And I might be wrong, but it's still my opinion. Yeah, I was actually Star Fox. Fury didn't take Ngannou seriously. He will take Usyk seriously, and it will be enough to beat Usyk. But I don't think so. Fury needs to make Usyk come towards him. And Justin, in response to the last comparison, Tyson was still relatively humble back then and not a global superstar, and much younger. Ever since Wilder, he stopped believing in greatness. You think so, Justin? I know he's got a lot to prove. I know he knows he's got a lot to prove as well. A lot relies on this. No, not on the live. I've spoke to Spencer. I've done a couple of conversations with Spencer when I've been at events. But the very first live I went on before I went on the Undefeated podcast was The Fight Is Right. And that was about 3 years ago. So Spencer, Viron and Tunde Ajayi gave me my first opportunity to speak on boxing, because we'd been like speaking on Instagram. And that was the very first live that I went on. Yeah. So shout out to them too for giving us that opportunity and essentially helping put that taste in my mouth that I knew that I was going to end up doing this anyway, because I've always loved the sport. Justin saying only money has Tyson in the ring, while with Usyk, he dares to be great. The money is less important. So he is the people's champ. And that once again, that is subjective. They're all prize fighters, aren't they? What's your official prediction for Usyk Fury? I've got Fury to win. I'm going to probably say points. I'm going for points. Hello, Perd. Hello, Perd. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Good evening to you. I don't think I've seen your name pop up here before either. Yeah, so I'm going today, as per my tweet or my X or whatever how you're calling it. I'm saying Fury to win. Even though I started off saying Fury. Yeah, I like the Creed films. Yeah, I think the Creed films were good. And Chris is saying Rocky 3 was the best. Just ban supplements, problem solved. It's one of them, isn't it? What's Toby saying? Red, the reason why your interviews are so good, it's because you ask questions that others don't or won't. I think I think it just depends on what you like. Not everyone is going to like how I ask things. People have said I'm harsh. people have said I should stick to cooking. Um, I ask things that I want to know as a boxing fan. That's all I can say. I'm not a qualified journalist. I'm just a fan of the sport with a mic and a camera. Um, I think there's some other, really good. Um, I'll call them interviews because that's what they call themselves. There is some, grafters out there that do some really good work as well. But the only thing is, I don't get to watch all of them because obviously I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. But there is some good talent out there. Right, Foxy, good evening. I hope Lauren wins convincingly. Mccaskill shouldn't have those belts after her last fight, agreed. Her commentary on DAZN has always bothered me as well. She never gave any Brits any credit. Really? I didn't know that, Foxy. That's interesting. But to be fair, Foxy, I often have the comms turned down. I don't listen to it. What was meeting YB like? Brilliant because he's funny. J805. YB's cool. I was watching him from 2000 and either 2018 or 2019. My brother, shout out to Big Bro if you're watching this at home with the fam. He says, have a listen to this kid. He sounds like he's local. Not sure if he's a Brummie, but he sounds like he's close to us. Watch his stuff because he's quite funny. And he just trolls everyone and he's got a sense of humor. But he does talk serious on boxing. So I've been watching him for years. And because of the Misfits stuff came out, I just reached out to him and says, what you saying? Do you want to go? And see if it's, you want to get into like the media side of something. And he agreed and we met up and we went to the Tommy Fury versus KSI media day. Lovely guy. Yeah. Really nice guy. And I still keep in touch with him now. He is funny. Yeah, YB's full time on YouTube. I think he pumps out quite a few videos. To be fair, October is the month I was born. Red is my favourite colour, and it's also associated with my skin tone. You'd often be called red skin if you had the skin tone like myself. So yeah, either or. But yeah, just keep it simple. Somebody said to me ages ago, oh, it doesn't really sound like a boxing thing. You should change it. No, I'm not changing it. I like it. When Adidas and Puma came out, did anyone think that anyone would have known that they were trainers? And look at how the brands are now. You haven't always got to. You're putting yourself in a box. If you associate yourself with one thing, you're putting yourself in a box. When I start my Instagram before IG started messing with it and took it down, that was October Red Boxing. And I just switched it up, October Red Media, because I'm not just going to cover boxing. And that was probably a long-winded answer. But yeah, don't put yourself in a box. Oppressive abs in the industry. Yeah, I bet they do, among other things. How long until the fight? Well, we're in round number 10 of 10 with Edwards and Ward, and then we will be going on to the main card. So I'm going to say about 5 minutes, hopefully. Depends how quick they do the ring walks. What time is it? I think I'm going to approximate a 10 p.m. ring walk. Hey? Yeah, I think you are. The bloody hell did you work that out? I wouldn't say that. Predictions for the 5v5. Did I write it down? Right, okay, hold on. The Zhang Wilder one I couldn't call. Hergovich, Daniel Dubois. I'm going to say Daniel Dubois. Amo versus Nick Ball. Is it Amo versus Nick Ball? No, it isn't. Hold on, where is the list? You're making me go back in time now. Wait there, I'll give you my predictions. Let me just see. Wait there. 5v5. I'm going to say Craig Richards as well. He's going to win out of Willie Hutchinson, even though Willie Hutchinson's very confident. Let's have a look. Bum ba dum bum bum. Let's have a look. Just trying to remember who's on there. Somebody remind me who else is on that card. I do this all the time. I've had a brain fart. I'll get back to you, Adam. I've got to have a look at the list. And no, oh, good evening, Herk. How are you doing? And no problem. Yes, I can cook. Yes, but I'm not going to do a cooking channel. That was Red October, wasn't it? Have they? Leonard Sterling. They've just robbed Fatuma Zarika in Blackpool. When's Nina Hughes fighting? Sugar Shy? Ray Ford. Yeah, here we go. Ray Ford is fighting Nick Ball. I'm going to have Ray Ford, even though Nick Ball's going to be on him like a rash. And I think Hamza Shiraz is going to beat Ammo. I said Craig Richards is possibly going to beat Willie. Is going to beat Willie Hutchinson. I think. Well, I'm going for that. Dubois, Hergovich, Zhang and Wilder. I can't really make my mind up. I've got Reese Edwards, SD in the prediction league. Could be a good shout. He's all right. He's Reese. I want to look like a billion. I want to look like an oil billionaire. He can take it as an insult if he wants. Yeah, I don't think he looks like... I wouldn't say it's an insult, but I wouldn't say he looks like him. Good evening, Matty. How you doing? Evening, everyone. Just watching the Skyboxing show. Hi, Abs. Your interviews are amazing. Great work. Well done. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everybody's support. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. I got the names now. You reckon? Hold on. So Chris has put up his predictions. Wilder, Dubois, Ford, Shiraz, and Richards. I agree with all of those, except for the Wilder one. I can't make up my mind. And you're saying that Willie, Chris is saying that Chris won. Good evening to you. Willie will beat Craig. No, it's all right. I'm just thinking of 15 things at once. I got there in the end, even without looking at the chat. Yeah, Reese. Jesus, how you doing? Shiraz will beat Ammo, I think. I think so too. Ammo was quite nice, actually, quite friendly. I met him. The Hunt for Red October, the only film I fell asleep. Well, I tell you something, Star Fox. You wouldn't fall asleep watching me. Foxy. Is Mccaskill no longer associated with DAZN? I don't think so. Didn't she suggest that Hearn had something to do with Baumgartner's failed drug test? Yeah, I remember that. That was on the Boxing Voice, wasn't it? Because I spoke to Eddie Hearn after that, because I watched the Boxing Voice. And I spoke to Eddie Hearn after that. And then, yeah, I obviously credited the Boxing Voice because that was a good conversation. But you see, the narrative's being spread because aren't they blaming Eddie Hearn for Ryan Garcia's failed test now as well? Narratives are crazy. Whatever. Wilder Zhang will be chaos and carnage inside the first 6 rounds, in your opinion. Both will be knocked down and Wilder knocks Zhang out when Zhang gets tired, which he does easily. I just hope he doesn't. I've been speaking to his coach, actually, Sean George, the coach of Zhilei Zhang. And did you know that both him and Malik have been boxers together in the amateurs? So they've known each other for 24 years. So it'd be interesting. I spoke to Sean, as I've spoken to Wilder's trainer as well, Malik Scott, and said that this could be the battle of the trainers, not necessarily the fighters. And JL5 is saying Zhang is going to baptize. Is that a quick dip where you're holding his head in the water for a bit? He's going to baptize Wilder. I like that. I like those strong words. Because you can just picture it, can't you? You know, when someone gets baptized, they get like fully dunked, don't they? Leonard Sterling saying Hughes versus Johnson, early UK ties tomorrow in Australia. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to watch that then. That one I will. No, no, I won't be able to watch it because I'll be on the live. I'll have to catch up. Not sure. Not bunions. I get a pedicure. I haven't got bunions. Tim Garrod goes on to say, not sure about Dubois. So I don't know. It's true though. It's true though, Dan. It's true. Right, Matty's saying, I believe in the Tyson Fury Usyk fight that Fury has to go at Usyk from the first bell and give it all he's got. If Usyk is still there after the 5th round, oh, Fury will lose. You reckon? Somebody said if it goes past 6, it's a Usyk fight. Meow. My predictions are Richards, Ball, okay, Zhang, Williams, and Hergovich. I like the contrast in that. No, I need to ask him actually. I'll send him a DM. I'll send him a DM and ask him when he's fighting again. Fight Fan Live, good evening to you and big up yourself as well. Shout out to Fight Fan Live. If you've not already, please subscribe to his channel. He does really good sit down podcasts, really interesting and informative conversations. And also, even though we haven't done it for a while, Base the Kid, Fight Fan Live, Maestro from New York, who keeps on running off and doing his own lives and not telling us about it, but I'm not going to get into that here. We do a panel sometimes. We've got to do that again, but we just can never seem to find the time. I hope Benavidez fights Canelo. Do you think he will, though? Because isn't Benavidez 175 now? Is he going to go back down, or is Canelo going to jump back up to 175 like he did with Dimitri Bivol? Benavidez wants Canelo. David Morrell Jr. is chasing Benavidez. And what was Belanga doing the other day? He was very active, but practically going around calling everybody out, wasn't he? I like that, though. That's how you sell a fight. Jordan J. G. Medford. Wagwan, abs and all respect. Caught up with your interview over the last 2 weeks. Respect to how you govern the thing. Always asking the right questions that we, the fans, are always thinking about. And that is what I like to hear. And thank you very much for that, because I'm a fan, Jordan. So I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Because I just want to know what you want to know. Do you know what I mean? Wilder has gone back under Malik Scott. Zhang said he's going to bang up. Zhang said he's going to bang up everything, doesn't he? Kyoshi Mccaskill is also still very bitter towards Katie Taylor. She tries to discredit her any opportunity she gets. She commentated the Taylor and Serrano fight and was very biased again. Okay. And this is what I'm saying about comms. I'll just switch it off. Danny's saying that Fury will lose. No, give your opinion. A lot of people are saying that. I just want Fury to win. Let's have a look. Tank Davis. Chris is from Chris. Good evening, Chris. Tank Davis is as thick as mint, accusing Eddie Hearn of being a snake. This kid should go back to school and learn how to speak a logical sentence. Cutting, Chris. The Australian card, Loma versus Gambosis, is geared to USA Pride Times. Oh no, I'm not getting up for it then. Why have they done that? Anyway, Belanga wants to fight Caleb Plant if he doesn't get the Canelo fight. Yeah, I seen that he stepped to him over there, didn't he? But he also stepped to David Morrell Jr., which be a long night. Well, it wouldn't be. It'll be a short night. I think Morrell Jr. would do that. Lomachenko will school Camboso. He will want to unify the division after he schools him. We'll have to see, won't we? Let's have a look. People are forgetting Fury hasn't fought a good mover in over 10 years, Vlad. His recent fights have been against really slow-footed guys, i.e. Wilder, White, Chisora, and Ngannou. Ooh. That's a fair point, JAO5. It's a fair point. He's going to have to... He will turn up. He's going to have to turn up. He'll turn up. He'll turn up. Fury will lose. Oh, my God. Fury losing 9 rounds because he's running on old legs, which is the opposite of his last 4 fights coming forward. He ain't used to running. Oh dear. And Dodge, October Red, my queen, good evening. How are you, Dodge? Hope you're okay. I don't rate Cambosis. Never should be in. Oh, Hughes should be in his position. Yeah, that was a mad one. That was Maxi Hughes, good fight, and he left Matchroom as well, didn't he? We've got the young Caroline Dubois and Natasha Jonas talking about the fight that we're all waiting for. It's got to. Is it anywhere near 10 o'clock yet? Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock, so we're going to get ready for this now. Are they getting ready for it? Well, they're going to do a bit of prelims with the interviews and blah, blah, blah. The ones that they've replayed about 7,000 times before we get the girls to walk out. Come on, Laza. Health-wise, yes, Adam. I think the heavyweights, what is it? What weight do you have to be a heavyweight? It's not 200 pounds, is it? And then it's like there's no limit. For example, 270 pounds is the maximum they can weigh in because some heavyweights look atrocious and don't train properly at all. We've seen that. But we've seen a lot of, not even cruiserweights, we've seen like other fights that have like literally just put weight on over time. Say, for example, the ones that are there to build the fighters, aka the journeymen. Some of them aren't natural heavyweights either. They've just obviously blown up to that weight and are looking to make a little bit of money. Did Zhang come in at 270 for the Wilder fight, Adam? If I'm trying to remember, I think he might have done. He came in really. Was Miller the biggest? Star Fox is saying biggest is Baby Miller. How much did he weigh? I thought, did Zhang not weigh 270? I don't know. Is he still boxing or is he retired? Right, Abs, lots of people have jumped on Usyk after 2 fights against AJ. I love AJ. He's a lovely man to meet and has given us some great memories and some great nights in British boxing. I fancied Usyk both times. Interesting. No, you're not overeducated. You just made it. If it was red, October. But it's not. It's October red. Controversial, I guess. Hergovich will school Dubois. Well, the only thing I'm mindful with Hergovich is the rabbit punches, but I've said that already. His rabbit punches are lethal. I don't know what's happening with Bridgerweight. Hold on a minute. What weight is Lawrence Okoli fighting at? He's fighting the one that beat Babbage. Isn't that Bridger? It is, isn't it? Where's he gone? Lawrence Okoli. He's going for a Bridgerweight world title, isn't he? Hold on. Lawrence. Let me just check box rec. Lawrence Okoli. Lawrence the Source Okoli. Lukas Rozansky. Let's have a look. Why is he down as inactive? Isn't he Bridger? I'm sure he's Bridger, but correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Yeah, Lukas Rozansky. Miller was over 3. Jesus God. Yeah, that's too much. That's dangerous. That's heart attack territory. Yeah, I don't think that's right. But he's back in again. He's back in the mix in the US, isn't he? I think Berlanga will get the Canelo gig. You reckon? What about Caleb? Knowing that Eddie is the middleman between the two. Interesting. Yeah, true. Google say that Miller had a career high of 317. My God. That's horrific. AJ does tend to struggle against smaller opponents, and a great point about Fury not fought movers like Usyk since Vlad. We'll see. We'll see. Stars make fights, don't they? The thing is, every time you write something off on basis of previous, and it's like we're doing our risk assessment, aren't we? That's what we're doing. We're doing our risk assessment to say, look, this is what is going to happen, and this is the reason why. Stop putting doubt in my head, you lot. Chris is saying Hergovich is overrated, and yet, as we said, Bridgerweight is still there. I don't really count Bridgerweight as anything, to be honest. But there's not that many fights in Bridgerweight category. I get it. I guess obviously Lawrence is going for the Bridgerweight because he wants to progress and end up at heavyweight. He's trying to get a title belt. I don't know if that will help him in the rankings. Should he move straight up to, because who else is there in Bridgerweight for him to fight if he wins against Rosansky? So will that belt in the Bridgerweight category help him to be higher in the rankings? Should he move up to heavyweight? Who knows? I was expecting the Loma fight result tonight, and I think he beats Gambosis. Yeah. October Red is a reference to the Red Sky in October in the fight. Yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, we'll start that one. 330. That's terrible. Zhang was 291 pounds. Okay, damn. So 21 pounds heavier than I thought he was. I thought he was 270. Don't know. I'll have to message him. Somebody else has asked me that today. Chris is saying, when I watch a Coley, he's built to be a heavyweight. Whether he's successful there, I'm not sure. That's the question, isn't it? That's the question. He hasn't been the same for a while. I don't get it. Maybe he's just reserved. He keeps himself to himself. I guess maybe he's always been quiet, but I don't know. And now he's with Gallagher, isn't he? He's in Natasha Jonas's gym, isn't he? So he's back training in the UK. I remember when I spoke to Shane McGuigan said he wouldn't train him at cruiserweight, but he'd be open to a discussion if he came back to him at a different weight. But I guess Bridgerweight's the weight in between, isn't it? Well, we'll see, won't we? Nah, I wouldn't like to see Bellew come out of retirement. I don't think he would. I don't know how Miller is back in boxing fold after listen. Miller's one of the topics that we're going to be discussing tomorrow when we talk about obviously the banned substances, because it was literally I was waking up every morning to a new banned test from Miller when he was supposed to fight AJ in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, that was crazy. That was. You think Boots Crowley fight will sell well in Philly? And that's for the American audience, Foxy. I don't know. Been a long time since I've had a big event there. Hearing some negativity from the US saying the Wells Fargo Arena is too big. Okay. I wouldn't know. I think that's for the American audience to answer that one. We'll see. And I guess this is when we'll find out how much of a star or not Boots is. Hopefully his city will come out for him. That press conference with Crowley was quite emotional, to say the least. When he was up there, he seemed, such a polite. Look, I haven't seen him before. I've obviously heard of him, but I haven't sat down and listened to him. And that was a really emotional press conference. It got to the point where I didn't even know what to say, where to look, and I was sat watching it at home. It's like he needed that stage to vent. He had so much on his chest when he started to speak about the unfortunate circumstances surrounding his father, obviously issues he's had himself. I was like, and I remember somebody putting up in the chat, should he even be boxing? Yeah, that was it was strange. If it would stop it now, I like Bellew. Can't leave Bellew alone. Crawford will be out to the game before Boots. You reckon? Right, Chris is saying Hergovich won't respect. Yeah, spot on, Chris. Didn't even need to read the sentence. Hergovich won't respect Dubois' power and will try to walk through him. It's all about whether Dubois can take a steady beating like Joyce gave him. And that the first half of that sentence, 100%. And that's the thing I like about Hergovich. There is no respect from him in the ring. And I would like to see more fighters do that, because he's actually, when they call him El Animal, don't they? He's got no respect for you in the ring. None whatsoever. Jordan is saying Fury versus Usyk is definitely a 50-50. I did say that. Maybe 60-40 with whoever is in your favour. Yeah. One thing I know is that it'll be a fight to remember, as each of the men, or each man deserves to win. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Who wins, Hope? Good evening, Hope. Who wins between Australian George and Loma? Just curious if anybody has a feeling. A couple of people have said Loma. I'm going with Loma as well, but who knows? Yeah, it was shocking. Oh, we're getting ready for the ring walks. We're getting ready for the ring walks. If you've just joined us, I'm Abs of October Red, and it is Saturday night fight night, watch along live. Welcome to all of you. Could you hit the like button, subscribe button, all of that YouTube stuff, because I'm really trying to boost to get my subscribers up to 10k. That is actually my target. I think if I get there, I'll be very happy. You make me happy anyway, but I'd be happy if I was at 10k. It's up to you. I can't force you, but I'm asking you nicely. We're here for the watch along that is just about to start. The first ring walk is about to go underway. Two girls. We've got the young Olympian who's going into, how many fights has she had? Is this fight number 9? She's going into a world title bout against the experienced Jessica Mccaskill, who has shared the ring with some of the best of them. I'm really looking forward to this fight. And we are on the cusp of it. Like I said, they're just getting ready to do the ring walks. Come on. I do want Lauren to win, because I do, because she's lovely. And, I'd just like to see her win. Tough test, but I'm here for it. And I believe she can do it. Big Mo's just doing the announcing now. I know there's a smile on the face. I've just glanced over to the Frank Warren show as well, with the British belt. Right, here we go. Lovely outfit from Lauren. She comes out in the red and black with the gold donning her name on the rear of the hooded crop jacket that she wears out, with those beautiful sequined black and red shorts. She's done in the red for the dragon for Wales. I think she's doing so much, and it's so nice to see how much support's come out from her from the Welsh community. I mean, Boxer did a really good piece where they went around to like local shops and stuff. Just a real community feel to it. And I really wish her the best. I really do. The crowd's turned up for her, fair play. But to be fair, the Welsh do turn out. I've never been to a fight there that it's been empty. They really do turn up for each other. Let's have a look as she steps into the ring. Came out first as the challenger. Walks over to the corner with her trainer, Rob McCracken, Birmingham's very own. I know she likes Tom Jones, but I can't hear who's singing. Obviously, someone's singing. The ref gives her a good hug, taps her on her shoulders, checks her gloves. It's almost time, guys. What is wrong with my eye? Gosh, that arena. Yeah, it looks like there's a good turnout there. Let me just quickly jump through this chat so we can get up to date for the fight. Unpopular opinion, I don't rate Chris Billam-Smith. I just subscribed and hit the like button. You got caught up in the algorithm, so good for you. I like that one. Thank you, Hope. I hope you stay. Speaking of Hope, I hope you stay. But a warm welcome to you. After his fight with the Coley, we will see what he's about. And if he grabs and holds and struggles with this geezer, he won't be any good at heavyweight. It's a test. It is a test. You can't really argue with that. Phil Larkin, good evening. There might have been a lot of things to do in Cardiff, to be fair. Starbucks. Zach, good evening to you. It's time to let go. Yeah, I'm definitely passionate about it, but still learning about it though, Matty. Still learning about it. Got a lot to learn. You never stop learning, and that's what I like doing. Bookies make Price a huge favourite. I make Mccaskill a favourite. She's a defending champ. Okay. Where's Iffy? Because Iffy usually tells us what his bets are. Let me just try and catch up with some of these chats. Let's have a look. What do I think about? I think I'm going for Loma. I'm going for Loma. Okoli probably thought his rap career was was going to be the one, and then people heard it hasn't been the same since. Well, something's happened, hasn't it? I'm just saying, Richard Riappor's better rapper. Is she in Ireland or Australia? Because you know we Americans are. Oh, I'm from a place called Birmingham in the UK. Ireland? No, I'm not Irish. I'm a Brummie. Birmingham, UK. Big Irish community in Birmingham, though. Here we go. We've got national anthems. That's a nice jacket that the chap's wearing. Welsh anthem. Yeah, Crowley's background story was heartbreaking. I was not expecting that at all. Wishing him the best. Seems like a nice guy. Yeah, it was painful. It was literally painful. But the horrible thing, I think some people were saying some terrible things in the audience, but whatever. Yeah, that guy in the crowd telling him to, yeah, that's terrible. I mean, why would you say that? But whatever. Whatever. The one thing I will say, when you say nasty things to people, remember these nasty things it might not necessarily come back on you, but you're going to have kids one day if you have kids one day. So just keep your mouth shut. It's saying nasty things to people. I don't get it. There's banter, and then there's just below the belt. Miller didn't respect Triple D, and he found out the hard way. I do agree with that. Yeah, Lauren's win wrought time. Here we go. Anthems. It's 21k. Hard to see them sell out capacity. They had a good start. 4k pre-sale. Boots and crowd. Okay, fair enough. We'll see what happens. 21k. That some of that might be curtained off. Conor Ben hasn't said much since Boots signed up with Eddie Hearn. I think he has, I think he's been arguing with everyone on the internet. To be fair, he's not really one to sit there quiet, is he? Oh, he was on about my accent, I'm presuming. Foxy's saying late stoppage. That's the aim for the knockout. Can't trust the judges. Look at what they did to Maxie Hughes. Yeah, that was terrible, that was. Yeah, I'm gutted about that hope. Better beer than Bivol. Better beer as an injury. I've been waiting for that fight forever. So have all of us. Do you remember when they met up in Saudi last week and Beterbiev kind of like stuck it on him, and I was like, yeah, this is going to happen, and it did. And now Beterbiev's injured. It's kind of okay. Yeah, I'm kind of okay. Depends what you're into. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but some people like coffee. Do. Let's have a look. I think Lauren oversells her ambitions for me. She hasn't impressed me so far. Maybe a bit too nice. She's a serious girl for sure. Yeah, not Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, UK. This is a 5k arena. I think we was talking about in Philly, weren't we? We were talking about Philly. Right, here we go. Unified WBA, IBO, Ring Magazine, Welterweight Championship of the World. We are now on Ring announcing. I think Frank Warren's got his show's got 700 fights left. Our live stream will close after this fight, but I will be watching Denzel Bentley fight. I want him to win as well. His combat fight, we need that. Gosh, here we go. We're almost there, guys. What we saying then? Oh God, here we go. Lauren Price will outclass Mccaskill. What are we saying, guys? Yeah, surviving sobriety. I totally agree. She shouldn't be defended. Yeah, yeah, I agree. We know Sandy Ryan won. I'd love to go to a fight in the States. No, not yet. It's the Midlands. It's north. It's about 120 miles north of London. And Liverpool's probably about 80 miles away from Birmingham, further north. It's not countryside, it's city, second city. It's busy enough. Some would say it's a bit more hectic than London, but yeah. Rolls B saying, come on, Denzel. Yes, we've got back Denzel. Here we go. Taylor the Tape, age 29, fight 6, 1-6, KOs 1. God, I'm getting nervous now. Right, I'm going to put up this good lucky charm from Toby Ringo Bartlett. Price all day, 100%. God, why do I get so nervous? I don't think it's an easy win, you know. I think she wins, but I don't think it's going to be easy because I need to see how Lauren's going to deal with this scrappy fighter. Jessica Mccaskill is very, very scrappy, and this is where we'll see what Lauren's got. She's going to do it though. Come on. My God, why am I so nervous? Yeah, next week I'll be all. I can't wait for next week. Not nervous though. I'm excited. And you know who I'm looking forward to as well? And it's a fight that's not been spoken about. The rematch between Joe Pataya and Marius Bradis. You know how that fight went last time. Marius Bradis broke both sides of Joe Pataya's jaw. Yeah? Listen, even though Bradis has been severely inactive, but I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm not writing that fight off. But I think Joe Pataya's probably improved massively and will probably get him out of there due to inactivity. Come on. Reigning and defending. Look at the beautiful gold on the belts. You know what would really hurt me if I was a champion and then I came into the ring with my belts and then I knew I was going to have to give them away. That would absolutely break my heart. Oh, AP, where have you been all night? AP, where have you been? I'm not reading your comment out, but AP, where have you been? Where have you been? Come on. Here we go. Right, here we go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Right, respective fighters back to their corner as their team take the final steps out of the ring. Both ladies bouncing on their feet. Stern look over to the corner of Mccaskill coming in from Price as Mccaskill rocks forwards and backwards on her feet as they're about to take centre of the ring. The referee makes sure it's clear. That ring looks absolutely huge, by the way. Seconds out. Round 1. Let's go. Both girls go and take the centre of the ring. We have got Southpaw versus Orthodox here. Both of them feinting, fairing, 1-2 coming in. Nice fast work from Price to start off with. Controlled. A little bit more controlled from Jessica as well, but both ladies have started off fast. Price just gets Mccaskill with the backhand. This has started very quickly. Good work. Good work so far. And okay, straight away, Jessica's doing what she does, and it's that barrage of shots. But Lauren's answering. Bouncing. Jab, 1-2. Caught her clean on the face. She throws out the 1-2 again, misses Jessica. Jessica slips one. Throws one back. I tell you what, I didn't realise how fast Lauren's hands were. Double jab coming out from Pricey. Jessica starts to flick out the jab. Price comes and flicks out her own jab. Still a bit of fencing going on, but they were in a little bit of a wrangle tangle to start off with, so that's good work to go. 36 seconds left of round number 1. Lauren's got fast hands. I'm enjoying this. Looking the more dominant and not afraid to literally let her hands go. Jessica comes with a barrage of shots and Lauren puts her in the clinch. We've got 19 seconds left of round number 1. And remember, guys, this is a championship fight, so 10 twos. Lovely fast hands. Fair play, Lauren. She does look like she's really thick set, doesn't she? Hey, let go. I'm impressed. Hey. Stay outside and pick her off. Price should win. I don't rate me. I don't know what's the coach saying. Use your jab a little bit more and don't come in with your chin up. The advice from Rob McCracken. Keep her long. Try and keep her long. Don't rush and keep your balance. Keep her long. Use your jab and don't go in with your chin up. That's the advice that's coming in from Rob McCracken for round number 1. Guys, if you've just joined us, welcome. I'm Abs of October Red, and this is Fight Night, Saturday Night Fight Night live watch along tonight. Our main feature, no images, just my voice, is Jessica Mccaskill versus Lauren Price. And we're going into round number 2. Jessica Mccaskill runs into the center of the ring, and Lauren comes off with her own combinations as Jessica Mccaskill rushes her with a lot of shots. Swinging overhand rights, dipping her head down, girls in the clinch. The ref separates the two. And we are in round number 2. Oh, good work. Lauren catching Mccaskill, Price catching Mccaskill with a few shots as she dips her head down. This is going to get scrappy. It's quite interesting, actually. You can't let Jessica control the fight. Like Rob was saying to her, you've got to keep her long. Keep her long, box and move. If you get into a wrangle tangle, this is what Jessica wants. Mccaskill likes to scrap. She likes that inside work. It's what she does. It's messy. It's overhands. It's swinging. But if she catches you, it's dangerous. This is where this amateur Olympic box and move. We've got to see this from Lauren. She's moving around to the right there, but she got caught literally on the chin, grazed the chin. And Mccaskill is making this as scrappy as possible as Lauren gets pushed back onto the ropes. The ref just has a little chat with her, says, don't bother doing that. You know she's going to have this home favoritism. That's a good thing about this fight. The only thing I'm concerned here is sometimes when Lauren's throwing a shot and she's backing away and moving off, she's slightly off balance. I don't know if one of her feet, I need to just have a watch, but I just need to keep an eye on her feet because she's slightly off balance when she's moving out the way and she's being caught and it looks like one of her boot Velcro straps is loose. 1, 2, 3. That's better. We had a 1, 2, 3 combination from Price and she moved out the way. Good work. Good work. The thing is with Lauren's shots, they just stick onto you. It's just dum, dum, dum. And you can feel that she's sticking the shots into your skin. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Right, here we go. Price is much more technical in her style and will stay outside. She's not though, is she? She's getting drawn in. Rob's give her the advice, keep it long. We've got Prices moving like Lomachenko. What are you saying? I've been getting after it. Well, it's still not acceptable. I'm happy for you. So what was that face that Martha pulled on Piers Morgan the other day? 41,000 emails. Anyway, Right, sorry, let's get back. I'll get back to the chat in a minute. Right, both girls taking the center of the ring. Jessica is looking to literally fence that arm up so she can get in and attack Lauren. Lauren has literally got to let those combinations go and move. One sec. So Lauren on the back foot. There we go. Using the feints, going after the shots. Both girls getting into a scrap. And once again, Jessica is pushing Lauren onto the ropes. Crowd is booing. Time out. Here we go. Was she going to have a word with her? Yeah, the refs brought the two of them inside. Gonna have a little chat. Let's have a look. He says, stop holding. Keep it neat. Right, here we go. Center of the ring, Jessica Mccaskill is pushing Lauren onto the back foot as Lauren throws a 1-2 as Jessica comes in. Just skimming the face of Jessica. Probably needed to just commit and get in a little bit neater, but everything that Jessica is throwing out at Lauren, Lauren is countering her back. This is good work from Lauren. Scrappy, but good. She's standing her ground. She's saying, hold on a minute. I don't respect your power. I like what's going on here. She's standing her ground and she's prepared to take those risks. She's in, out, she's bouncing. Once again, Jessica bends her head into the body of Lauren. Lauren tries to fight out of the clinch and throws her own body shots in. This is getting really scrappy. Time out again. What's going on now? Oh, she sent Lauren to the corner. The ref's having a word. She's saying, I'm not holding. You know what's going to happen, don't you? They're going to end up taking a point off her. Right, both ladies back to the ring, back to the center of the ring. Lauren's got this nice rock 1-2 as she moves back onto the back foot. Jessica looking to come forward as she does. Hands down low. There we go. 1-2 coming in from Lauren as Jessica comes in. 1-2 once again from Lauren. She just needs to keep her chin down as she's on the way out, which I think that's obviously something that Rob spoke about. Once again, the ladies in the clinch and the ref separates. It's quite messy, this is. Messy but entertaining. We like it. 1-2-3. 1-2-3. Lauren goes forward with the attack, keeps going in. Looking a bit frustrated, walking back into the corner. A good active round. Right, Lauren wins, coming from Jerry. I don't rate Mccaskill, sorry. Jordan saying Lauren is looking extremely sharp. Yeah, I agree. Powerful with her shots, liking her rhythm. Yeah, that nice bouncy rhythm. G-Chain, good evening. Big up, sis, on the watch along. Thank you for joining us or popping your head in. And if you've just popped your head in, hit the like, subscribe button, the share button, whatever it is. Add a comment. Let's debate in here. You know what it is. Hope. Dimitri Bivol has been saying for a couple of years he wants to go down and fight Canelo at 168, but well, he beat him quite comfortably at 175, didn't he? Scores at the doors, guys. Yeah, every Mccaskill fight it's scrappy. She's a scrappy fighter, isn't she? But other fighters, the Sandy Ryan controlled her and Chantal Cameron controlled her. Here we go. Double jab comes out from Jess as a backhand. Lauren once again in, out. Keeping that jab hand just there, ready to obviously parry a shot or get inside. Jessica throws a 1-2. Lauren throws a 1-2. Keeping that hand tucked under her chin to avoid any shots, counter shots coming back from Jessica, who once again is just throwing out wild shots. Girls both in the clinch. Ref separates the two and just gives Lauren a quick warning for holding. Jab coming out from Lauren. 1-2-3 coming out from Jessica as she was just about to throw the overhand, but she knew she was short, so she held back. Lauren throws out the 1-2. Both ladies in the center of the ring, using the ring quite well. Jessica turned away then, and Lauren caught her with a shot that might have just tapped the back of her head. Right, let's have a look. Lauren's got some really good boxing skills now. Now we're starting to see the boxing coming out. Lauren, I think, is starting to understand in the ring now what Jessica Mccaskill is going to bring. So we're starting to see that movement, that control from Lauren. She understands it now. So some of the shots she's not going to catch Lauren with. Put my teeth back in. Good girl. Good work. What are we in round number 4 already? 25 seconds left in round number 4 of 10 of this championship fight. Lauren's able to move out the way and avoid the backhand that was coming in from Mccaskill. Pivoting, nice movements, nice pivots there from Lauren, moving away to evade the counters coming in from Jessica. Jessica throws out a 1-2. I need to start calling him Mccaskill, really, don't I? Lauren quite comfortable on the back foot, throwing out her own combination. And when she does, it seems as if Mccaskill, like, she ducks into her. She ducks into her, like, head first. Yeah. Good night, Jerry. Thanks for popping in. Let me see what Caris is saying. Let's have. You're right. Yeah. It's all right. I was just listening to what Caris was saying. Guys, you keep up with the chat just in case I'm missing out anything. Boxing Beats and Rhymes, salute to you, everybody. Please go and subscribe to Boxing Beats and Rhymes. He keeps me company on my runs. He's the channel that I listen to. His soothing voice as I'm running down the canals of Birmingham to get my 3 miles in. I listen to his channel. Please go and subscribe. Good stuff. Right. Both of the girls, right, sorry, we're in round number 5 of 10. 1 minute 40 already. Lauren on the back foot, throwing out the 1-2. Jessica overreaching with her shots. It's almost like when you see Jessica throwing the shots, she's not actually looking. She's just throwing the shots and hoping that it hits. Once again, some wild swings, but they're skimming. They're skimming the face of Price. Very, very messy fight indeed. But Lauren looking really tough, competent, skilled, showing some footwork there that I don't even really think that I've seen her do. Once again, Jessica's coming in with the shots, but Lauren is countering her like to say, don't you dare. She's coming back with spite. Good work. Both of them on the inside. Ref separating them. I wouldn't mind him just letting them, just seeing if they can work out of that inside work. If it gets too much, then separate them. But let them work out of the clinch. Don't keep separating them. It reminds me of like Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua when the ref was like just getting involved. Oh, Jessica Mccaskill, I'm not sure if it's from a head clash, but she's got a massive swelling on her left eye. It might be a head clash. But if that pops, yeah, we've got some swelling on the eye of Mccaskill. I'd just attack that all day. Just attack it. There we go. We're getting some good movement from Lauren. She probably went back a little bit too far there. She's throwing the 1-2 and then she's pivoting out of the way. So when Jessica tries to come back with anything, it's not there. Jessica's showing her frustrations every time that the ref is separating. But that lump's getting bigger and bigger on her eye. You want to get that metal bit on there to get that down. That swelling looks nasty. I'm not sure if that came from a head clash, but if that gets cut, it's curtains. Jessica's getting frustrated, yeah. Yeah, you can put the scores in the chat. I ain't scoring it because I always get it wrong. I was a little worried for her. Gadget, good evening. Little worried for Lauren, but she's holding it down well. Yeah, she really is. I looked it up and they said one guy, the heavyweight, was going up against. No, that's just heart attack. That is. That must be misfits. Guys, put the scores up in the chat. Anytime, Army Mike, and salute and good evening to you. Conquest 2. Good evening to you as well. Right, here we go. Jessica comes out, throwing the 1-2. It's skimming the face of Lauren as she's able to move back and evade the shots coming in from Jessica as she ducks her head down. Lauren's throwing, popping out the jab now. That's what we need to see. That just flick it out, pop it and move, pop it and move. When she walks in, try and let's have a bit of variation of shots. Get her with an uppercut. When you know that she's going to bore her head in, just send that, like you're going to do a body shot, but it's going to get her in her head. Right, the viewers' verdict have got Price up. He's got a win in every round. Guys, put what you think in the chat. I'd say it's a very competent performance from Lauren. Very competent. Lovely movement. Good ring generalship. Maybe when she moves out of the way, she goes back a bit too far. She could be more economical with her movement just to preserve energy. But yeah, other than that, look at that. Look at that. A 1-2 and that hook that came in from Price in the cleaning the cheek of Mccaskill. Lauren is really strong. 1, 2, 3, 4. As Jessica dips her head down, once again pushing Lauren back into the ropes. Oh, beautiful. 1, 2, 3 coming in from Price. Almost caught Jessica off balance then. Mccaskill off balance. I do apologise. It's really, I think it's frustrating because you're trying to land the shots on her, but she's literally dipping her head and slightly moving to the side. But do you see that again? Lauren throws that and then moves back. Just be a little bit more economical because it's going to take Mccaskill a little bit of a while to catch up with her anyway. I'd say that obviously Lauren is the, more athletic of the two. Let's have a look at the chat. These rounds are going bloody quick. Yeah, I agree. Lovely hand speed. Hold on. Her coach is saying that she's never been this far in a fight before, and he's telling her to take this round off. Okay. No way can the judges have Mccaskill. Well, I hope not. And I haven't got bias eyes on this. 4th round, 40-36 to Price. Evening, Cos, how you doing? Hope you're all well. Let's have a look. In Conquest 2 said, I feel this is her changing of the guard fight. Rodrigo. Oh, right, from the Philippines. Wow. Good evening. What are you doing out there, Rodrigo? Let's have a look. Yeah, the swelling is horrible. And it's getting worse. It's purple, isn't it? I think it's her head. God, we're in round number 7. Round number 7 of 10. Oh, I don't know. Good fight. Really good fight. Price is on the back foot. Throwing the 1-2. She did not like that. Price caught her in the face clean with a shot on that eye. And literally, the face of Mccaskill just winced. I thought it was stuck there for a minute. She literally grimaced. And the range now, Price has definitely got the range in. Stop turning away, man. Seriously. Let's have a look. Lauren's face, no real reddening or anything, is there? No. She's doing all right. Right, both together again. If ref has another word with them, somebody's going to lose a point because you can't keep on just giving them warnings. He's given both of them plenty of warnings. Let's have a look. Lauren composed as she just hops in 1-2. Both of them end up in the clinch. Ref separates the two. The combinations coming in there from Price as Mccaskill counters and just slightly touches the nose of Lauren as she moves out the way. Lauren's jabbing and moving on the back foot, moving out the way. Good work. Good work from Lauren. Yeah, good work. Real good work. This is impressive. I'm impressed. But also not go on, attacker. Sorry. Thought she had her then. I think McCaskill's trying to rough up Lauren, but she can't, which is good to see. Belle's gone because Lauren's not afraid to get in a scrap as well, and that swelling is horrific. Let's have a look. Not a mark. Not a mark on her face. Ivana Hazabin is saying that Lauren is giving Jessica a boxing lesson. Yeah, horrible swelling. I totally agree. Shout out to Kay Zarsata. Zarsata. Mccaskill too wild and wayward. Cleaner work coming from Price. It really is, isn't it? She's really trying to smother that work as well. Donna Jones, as an American, I think you have a great voice to read Harry Potter to me. Wingardium Leviosa. And music stops fury. Donna, that made me laugh. Yeah, it's definitely a head clash. Some of the rounds are hard to score. Right, we've only got 3 rounds left, guys. Round number 8. What the hell? What's happened now? What's he said? Oh, he's getting the doctors to check her eye. While he's doing that, hold on. JL26, Mccaskill, still as awful as always. Price even more skilled than expected. I'm glad she's put the surprise on a few people. You know, she can only box to her ability of the people that she's been put in with. So she was ready for that step up. 1-2. Jessica's coming in with the combinations as well. Price is able to move out of the way, which forces Jessica to literally walk forward into a body that's not even there. There we go. Lovely 1, 2, 3. A hook that would have got Jessica on the ear there. That will mess with her balance. Lauren on the back foot as Jessica comes forward. Lauren walks forward and goes in for the attack. But when you look at the behaviour of Mccaskill, we've got like the dipping of the head, slightly turning. Go on! You hurt her then. She keeps on doing this. She's throwing these like perfect shots on Jessica. Jessica seems wobbled. Then she goes inside, ends up smothering. The ref separates. She's done this a couple of times now. I'll behave. It's almost like passive aggression. I'm not talking about me. God, that's so frustrating, right? Jessica looks a little bit tired now. Let's have a look at Lauren. Lauren's still looking focused on the back foot. Not a problem. As Mccaskill taps out the jab, goes it. She's turning her back. There we go. Lauren throws back. So a couple of hooks in the head of Mccaskill. Oh, God, that's frustrating. Frustrating. Yeah, Price is doing all the work, and swell, is that what they use on their face? Swell. I know her face is swollen. I'm a 23. Okay, I'm a 23-year-old Latina, USA, Mexican heritage female. I was wondering where this was going home. Okay, I'll read the rest of the comment. It's a pause then. I prefer men, but this lady, it's very nice, and the check is in the post. I could be your mother, Hope, and thank you to your boyfriend too. No, it's fine. I was just thinking, what am I going to end up? Because there's some people in this chat, no names mentioned, AP, that I can't read out what they put in the chat all the time. But yeah, come on, here we go. Back to the corner again. What's this now? The doctor again. So we've got some frustration there with Jessica. That is get. What's he said? Is he going to say? So what's he going to do then? So I mean, congratulations. What we saying, guys? I need your feedback in the chat. What we saying? I mean, congratulations. Well, let me have a look in the chat. Let me have a look in the chat. You are from the Philippines. Okay, okay, okay. Home of Manny Pacquiao, Rodrigo, my favorite fighter. Yeah, it is bad, and obviously that's why they've called it. Oh, you do boxing, do you? Okay. Mccaskill will hand over the belts to Price. Look at the eye, though. Look at the eye, guys. Right, let's have a look. What's Leonard saying? It's not changing of the guard. She's not fighting the best welterweight. Mccaskill's on her last legs and wanted to get paid for retirement. Jessica's hurt. Yeah. Devon, how you doing? Joel Morris, thank you very much for the super chat. So we're going to have a new world champion tonight, but it looks like it, doesn't it, love? Oh, yeah, YouTube is very strange. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. And thank you very much for your honesty. I do appreciate that. Yeah, everyone's shouting, stopped. Fight's over. And yeah, shout out to Lauren. She did a really good job, didn't she? Impressed by her massive step up and didn't get anywhere near a one-sided masterclass. Good fighter, man. Marcelo, the fact Mccaskill was established a champion says everything you need to know about women's boxing. The level of quality is great. Marcelo, don't ruin it. Don't do that. Marcelo, no. Guarding belts. The price is right. Listen, you know what it is. Yeah, awesome performance, pure class from Lauren. Not shocked at all. Exactly what I predicted earlier in the comments. She did. The price is right on the night. We love it. All good, all good, all good. Living the blocked life, Devon. Living that blocked life. Oh dear God! Look at that eye. Nah, they had to stop it, guys. Are you seeing this? No, they definitely had to. No, AP, no. Thank you again for the commentary. You're so easy on. Thank you, Mike. I think you should get to Specsavers, but yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Sandy Ryan. It could be Sandy Ryan next. Mccaskill looked like a seam bowler throwing punches. Oh, Gavin, where have you popped? Where's all these women haters popped up from in the chat? Can we just be nice tonight, please? Congratulations to Lauren. Congratulations. The fight had to be stopped. Her eye was all over the place. And the new. Look at her. Oh, bless her. Is she emotional? Good performance. Yeah, she is. Bless her. I'm happy for her. Lovely girl. Yeah, listen, I don't mind honesty, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think Lauren is a good boxer. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. Only when some of the like the spammers come in, they're really weird. I like women's boxing, and this is from Hope, our new Mexican viewer, native Mexican viewer. We like this. Just because it's something different, but I still prefer men's boxing. And I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. It's what we used to, isn't it? Women's boxing is gaining some stars. My favourite's got to be Ellie Scottney. We are getting some good female fighters, and the sport will continue to grow. But I don't want to get on like the sexist bandwagon with like. So why is it just cut off? No in the ring interviews. My God. Yeah, Gavin, let's have a look. No, I'm not a woman. I'm only joking. Uh, just my opinion, but they're making a living, so hats off to them. Katie Taylor, yeah, definitely. Easy work for Lauren. Mccaskill always makes it messy. Didn't work for her this time. That eye thing was terrible. Mccaskill, no doubt, will say the swelling was the only reason why she lost. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy for it as well. I'm definitely happy with it. Price was on fire. She impressed me big time. Nolito Banada. Who won the fight, Miss Beautiful? I'm from the Philippines. How's my videos getting to the Philippines? Good evening. Lauren Price did it. And thank you for listening to the commentary. It's the second person from Philippines. YouTube, you're clearly setting this up well. Um, yeah, that's it, Andrew. I was going to compare it to something, but we've got some new lovely viewers, so I'm not going to do that tonight. To be honest, it was very messy and extremely unorthodox, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah, it was just the ads. Really weird. Light Terry was champion and fought Ryan weight below and got bullied, was too small. Yeah, that was a really good fight. I enjoyed that as well. Are Matchroom and Boxer going to work together for Price Ryan? Or do you think it will go to Purse? If it goes to Purse, please forget it. Hopefully they'll start to work together. I'm gonna keep the faith and I'm gonna be positive. I don't know though. When I hear purse bids, and I'll be quite honest with this, and Boxer know that I'm honest with this because I've said it. Whatever I say, I can say it to your face. I get really nervous when Boxer and purse bids are said in the same sentence. But hopefully things will change moving forward, as per my conversation that I had with Ben Shalom last week. That was very interesting. Jonas Price next, it could be. And the in-house fight is the fight that they'd like to do because it's the easier fight to make. And G is saying that he can't see Ryan beating Price. And Jonathan, to be fair, I don't even know what I'm saying. So I don't know what you're laughing at because I say lots of things. And it might not even be me. It could be someone in the chat. Right, less than a week to go. I will count down the days like a kid waiting for Christmas Day. And on that note, you beautiful 200 and plus people that are here, please hit the like button, the share button, the subscribe button, all the magical stuff. I am back tomorrow morning. And like I said, the conversation that we're going to be covering tomorrow is performance enhancing drugs in boxing, where we will get a basic layer of education. This is not by somebody who is employed by VADA or WADA. It's somebody that works in the fitness industry, that sells supplements and has got an idea of how it works. So if you want to get some basic education, because I'm going to be getting some basic education, come back here, all being well, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Thank you. You've been epic company, except for AP that joined late because obviously you're having fun without me now, which is a disgrace. But to the rest of you, thank you ever so much for your company. I'm going to go and watch the Bentley fight. I'm not going to stay on because I don't know how many fights are left on the Queensbury card. But you guys, I will catch up with you tomorrow. Adios and stay ready.